Hey everyone, welcome back to the Art of Scumming. Thank you for tuning in. It's great to be here as always. I've got a new format coming your guys' way. But before we do, I want to say sorry I've been a little bit absent. Work's been crazy, and I'm planning a wedding, so I haven't had as much time to commit to this as I wanted. I want to do a saga series, and we're going to do this a turn a day and see how this goes. And the idea is I want to generate a story based on a character, and we're going to go through the world. We're going to try to accomplish those goals, and it'll be shorter videos because I'm only doing one turn at a time. Obviously, the turns will get longer as the series goes on, but today we're starting Skarbrand. So the story goes something like this. Skarbrand is here in the wasteland. He wants to get out of the wasteland, go back to the northern chaos wastes up here where he's more comfortable, and then he's going to go on a quest for the Sword of Khorne after consolidating his empire that he left in the northern chaos wastes, and then ultimately going for the Nemesis crown in the empire. So to start off with, turn one, we're going to go ahead and pop the Skull Throne. Move Skarbrand to right here. Attach his hero. Did we get anything decent? We got a crappy trait, but that's fine. Go ahead and attach our hero. And then we're going to go ahead and initiate this first battle. And of course, we are playing on full difficulty. And in typical Khorne fashion, charge. Maneuver our strong infantry towards the front there, and of course, you know, most of these battles are just straight up won by Skarbrand most of the time. He is basically your army. But in the early stages of the campaign, he's not absolutely infallible. Those were held down long enough. No, didn't hold it down long enough. We might still get that in. Couldn't get him to turn around. That's okay. This is especially a problem in the early campaign because your infantry is pretty slow and you don't have any magic like the rest of the characters in the game. Except for Valkia, I suppose. But the MO is pretty consistent when it comes to playing as Skarbrand. Take out the leader of the army, and the whole thing crumbles, basically. So most of your battles in the early stages of the campaign are going to look like this, where you basically box in whatever important units you have. This is a summoned unit, doesn't matter. Box in all of the important units. Let Skarbrand do the majority of the damage dealing. We do have some good damage dealers, and in the first battle, they shouldn't really be all that problematic for... they're not as glass cannon as Slaanesh, but they still do take a fair amount of damage, even though they're just not shielded. So any missiles are going to be a real problem. In melee, they're pretty good, but they are taking a fair amount of damage against just savage orcs. So the bloodletters are not my go-to. I keep them for flanking troops, but at this stage in the campaign, they have to be kind of used as frontline troops because we don't really have much of a choice. They also are demons, so while they are physically resistant, they disintegrate. So that it's really easy to lose a unit of bloodletters in the early stage of the campaign because a mortal unit will just run away and get routed off the battlefield, and then it can be replenished as long as it doesn't lose, you know, down to 5% of its, you know, as long as there's 5 of these guys remaining, they can be replenished over the end turn. Not so with the Bloodletters. They'll sit there and they'll fight to the death, but they'll ultimately disintegrate, which is kind of a problem. We got a Potion of Toughness. That's pretty good. Let's see here. We'll take the money, even though there are other mechanisms to get skulls. So the whole reason we did what we did there was so that we had enough movement to get to that second settlement. So we're going to go ahead and give ourselves Route Marcher and also increase the mobility here. Now this will reset after we... that movement range didn't change, but it will take into account after we reset our movement. So if we attack this settlement next, and we could auto-resolve this, but I don't want to lose that unit. So in the early campaign, we definitely need to be careful about what units we're losing. So we're going to go ahead and fight this manually, even though we would probably be able to replenish the majority of the stuff. It's just that we don't have that much recruitment capacity this early on. Pretty much the same battle. Yeah, we'll approach it the same way, only this time we had too much Bloodletter activity in that, and we didn't have enough Chaos Warrior. So let's go ahead and we'll just stagger these guys back, and then we'll do the same thing, but they'll be offset a little bit, so we don't have to micromanage the Bloodletters quite as bad. And we'll bring this one all the way over there just to distract them. And we don't have regen on Skarbrand yet, so we'll go ahead and pop this. And I'll show you the best way to go into something like this. You go right at the missile unit. Right at it. And then you pop the ability that causes it to rampage. And then it'll double back and want to fight you in many instances. Although I popped it too early in that particular instance, so it didn't change its course very much. All right, the Chaos Warriors are making it. This guy needs to be pulled out. He doesn't have the resistances yet. Let's see if we can get these dogs in here and maybe do some damage to the missile units. This unit, we can just let it do whatever we want. It's a summon unit. We don't really care if it has a problem. And we'll send these two around this way for some flanking. And then if we can get one of these to engage, that would be great. Engage with the Chaos Warriors, that is. All right, that looks like that's going to work. Skarbrand is doing nothing over there. And actually, I think I like maybe swapping places. This dog unit coming over here to beat up on this missile unit is probably better because it's isolated. All right, so we're engaged. Let's see here. Move these around. We can probably recommit this guy now that we're kind of blobbed up a little bit. We can kind of see where the lines are going to be. And then this guy should have no problem dealing with that archer unit. All right, cool. Flank this in right like that. And that should handle this. And then these ones we can bring around this way. Let's give it a little bit of help over there. All right, this is a little bit more favorable than we did in the last battle. It's been a minute since I've played Khorne, so I'm used to being able to just engage and then blast it with magic. So I gotta get my head in the right frame of mind. Everything has to be done manually in Khorne. Right, there we go. There we go. All right, and there's the army losses. Again, this is a settlement battle, so it doesn't really matter what we do here. And we don't have any additional abilities that we need to pop, so all right. That's the end of that battle. And we are going to Blood for the Blood God. So we're going to generate a blood host off of that, and we're going to need that to quickly resolve the conflicts in the area. We are going to now this is weird because Skarbrand has abilities that probably still shouldn't have. But early on, I mean, ultimately we want this. But early on, we're going to have recruitment problems, so we're going to go ahead and get 1 point into recruitment cost reduction. And so we're going to force march Skarbrand in this direction. And we're going to put him back in camp stance. And that is going to allow us to recruit some more troops. So we're going to get 3 of these. And then we're going to upgrade this, and we're going to delete this. We don't need this building. We can't upgrade it to tier 3 yet. And the units that we actually want from that are provided by this one. But we do want the cultist. First, we're going to go with serial killing, which gives us campaign movement range. And then diplomacy, we want to go in here, and we definitely want to be friends with Clan Moors. We're going to try to forge a defensive alliance with them, because it would be great to have some of their units. And then the Harbingers of Disaster, we will pay to be in a non-aggression pact with them. You can also, if you want to manage it, you can declare war on the Sirens of Morcane, excuse me, and that will easily allow you to get into diplomacy with the Harbingers of Disaster. The rest of this, I'm going to leave alone for now. These numbers will fluctuate. We're going to look for better numbers later. All right. That is the end of turn 1. So we will see you guys on the next episode.